and now they're even putting vibroacoustic devices that trick the body into thinking it's moving, because the bone loss of our astronauts was so severe. Even though they had the generator with the sound the body needs, the bones were deteriorating in space. So they're using the very same vibroacoustic device that I have in my healing room, very similar to that, and their bone loss is perfect.
Really?
They don't have any bone loss at all.
That's amazing. And I noticed that you brought your tuning forks with you. Could you show them first to everybody so that they can see the forks?
Well, first of all, the one that I use in my therapy, they have little feet on them. So normally this is for the auric field. The one that I use in my therapy actually has little tiny feet on them, and that allows the sound to be sustained, so that if I put it into your body, you're going to feel that frequency, that sound going in. These are designed to just work within the auric field. So our aura absorbs information on a different level than our physical body does, but it's just as important. It's just a different network into the body, and our meridian system is what will take that information and carry it deep into the tissue and deep into our organs. So this is a typical tuning fork.
So what can diseases be healed, or mental traumas, psychological, all that can be healed using this sound therapy?
Absolutely. Just one of the frequencies, the 528, is a repair of DNA.
So it goes down to the DNA level. That's the healing.
Absolutely goes down to the DNA.
That's very interesting.
I, of course, incorporate it with an entirely different field called emotional freedom techniques or energy psychology. So instead of tapping, many of you have probably seen Dr. Mercola.
I've actually had the tapping done on me, too.
Right. So instead of tapping, we're using the actual sound the body recognizes the most, the ohm frequency, putting that tuning fork. And basically I teach that on my website for free. I have a free download of my workbook on my website, thesecretsofsoundtherapy.com.
And could you give us the address to your website, please?
Yes, it's thesecretsofsoundtherapy.com.
And the book that you have is available as a free download. Could you show us the book? I see that you have it right there.
Absolutely.
So that the audience can look at it.
It's a free download, and it's complete with all of energy psychology protocols and the very latest energy psychology protocols, as well as how to incorporate the tuning fork into it. So I keep updating it, and it's free on the website.
Excellent. The other thing I wanted to ask you is that you're starting to incorporate water and crystals into your sound therapy. I had that experience with the crystal bowls that we described earlier, which was also, like I said, it was like going to heaven. What is the technique, or I know that you have a theory that you described to me. We got a couple of minutes left. Could you please go into what all that encompasses, the theory that you have with water crystals and with sound?
Well, from my understanding, my limited knowledge is that a crystal is fossilized water. So obviously we couldn't function on this planet, this beautiful planet Earth, if it wasn't filled with water. And we mirror Earth by being filled with water in every cell of our body. So they have now discovered that our interstitial fluid is like a liquid crystal. So it's going from, the miracle of water is that it could go from a gas to a liquid to a solid. It is one of the most amazing things about water. And so it is also true that we go from a gas to a liquid to a solid. We have so much in common with the crystals. So when I'm combining sound, which we are, every cell in our body emits its own sound. The scientists at UCLA can tell whether a yeast cell in our body is a good yeast cell or a bad yeast cell from its sound. It has a microscope that can hear. It's called an atomic microscope. And so we are sound, and that's coming from the unseen realms. Then we go into gas, and then water, liquid, and solid. And so it's this constant flow of change, and all of this information that we are held is in every liquid, computer. Water is a computer. Mm-hmm. Every molecule of water is its own computer, and so is the crystal. So what we are is energy and information, and we go from a constant state of being in the unseen realm into the physical realm. Okay. And this, I believe, is the bridge.
That is the bridge, because we actually talked about that bridge. And so how do you think that when you hold Pancho during this therapy, because we can use different kinds of crystals.
Right.
But what in particular about Pancho, holding him, would that intensify the experience, or what's your take on that?
Well, the reason why I think Pancho rather than any other crystal is because it is believed by the ancients that our ancestors and their information is more easily accessible when we're holding a skull. Mm-hmm. Especially, I do believe this is the main skull, and I know that no one ever wants to say that, and it's only my belief based on my photograph and the way that I read energy in photographs. So I believe if you want to connect to your ancestors, and we all have them, that it's more easily done while holding Pancho than any crystal skull, actually.
Any crystal skull.
Any crystal skull. It's more accessible to access our ancestors, which obviously are our parents and our grandparents, and obviously for me, my ancestor, even though he was my son, because he's already in the other realms, he then becomes my ancestor.
That is correct, right.
So I believe it or not, I haven't held Pancho while I've had my feet in the water in the crystal bowl, but I will be looking forward to doing that as soon as I can.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's very, very interesting, and I'm very impressed with all of this information. It's very good. I'm looking forward to our event, which is coming up, and we're probably going to be working and co-creating for a long time to come. I'm thinking sound therapy is very, very important. I just keep getting in my head about the dolphins and the whales, how they use sound for their communication and everything.
Yes, everybody uses sound for communication.
Yeah. And it's so the sounds of dolphins and sounds of whales, to me, is healing.
It definitely, most definitely, they've proven that.
Yeah. So thank you, Regina. We're going to continue talking. We still have one more segment to come, and after that, you're going to lead us in a meditation.
I would
Is that
love
correct?
to.
Okay.
I would love to.
Well, thank you very much, everyone who's listening. Welcome back, everybody, to the Pancho Crystal Skull Hour. Here with Regina Murphy, our guest for today. We're going to talk a little bit more about frequencies today, and actually, you have some pictures that are going to be showing behind us as we're talking, and these pictures are of an actual healing or session that you did with a friend of yours, with Madison.
Right.
A mutual friend of ours.
Yes.
I know Madison also. The first picture is of you, and you are in front of Madison. Tell us what's going on in this picture.
What's going on is I was sending the frequency of, I think it was 174. It's a harmonic frequency going through a beautiful pointed smoky quartz crystal. Mm-hmm. And I was sending with full intention, sending love from my heart into the tuning fork, through the crystal, and to Madison. Now, if you look closely at that picture, you're going to see right at her heart, her denim jacket turned beautifully pink.
Correct.
Okay, and you can also see what's coming out of me. Mm-hmm. You can see some really kind of yucky red and a yucky yellow. Mm-hmm. So what that was doing was forcing out of me everything that was not love. So the energy of the red, that yucky red, was frustration, and the yellow was anxiety. And even though I'm always in complete denial that I could have those emotions
so am I.
going on, it's clear through that picture that by sounding that beautiful frequency, that it forced those emotions out of me. And then as I became that love and sending it through to Madison, you could see it piercing her auric field to such an extent that you could see the color of unconditional love on her jacket.
Right. So the healing is not just for the recipient, but also for you.
Always.
Always for you.
It can never be a one-way street.
Correct.
Never.
That's awesome. So now I understand why you do what you do.
Okay.
Just that's wonderful. We have a next slide, a next picture. Again, Madison. It looks like she's lying down here. What's going on? I see there's some orbs going on around there.
Well, this is another day, a different day. Madison is always ready, willing, and able to try anything new. And you can see she has a smile on her face, so you'd think she's really, really happy. But the energy coming all around her is very discordant.
Is it the yellow?
Again,
the anxiety?
Yeah, the anxiety and the frustration. So, of course, we pretend we don't feel these things and we lock it away. We stuff it. So even our conscious mind isn't aware of it. But you could see in her energy field it was clearly there. So the only thing that I asked her to do was to sound the Om tuning forks and to listen to them. And because she's a singer, I asked her to try and make that very same sound.
Imitate the sound.
Right, so that she would be toning the Om frequency. And those who are performers can do that easier than like you or I. So she started to tone the frequency. So,
and then let's go to the next slide.
Yeah, let's go to the next slide. Shows her listening, and she's getting ready to make that sound. Okay, so now then you want to go to the last slide.
Okay.
And you can see within 30 seconds that her energy became completely calm. And this is the frequency of 136.10. That is the frequency that the Earth makes in its annual cycle around the sun. And this is the frequency that the body needs and knows the most. It understands that frequency. So any other frequency into the body is an instruction, but the body knows what to do with the Om frequency.
Okay. It
knows how to instantly balance us, whether we need to be sedated or tonified. It knows what to do with the Earth frequency.
That's amazing. I know that when I listen to music, I can have either a soothing feeling, or if I listen to certain kinds of music, it can make me really crazy.
Yes.
Yeah.
It can make you sad.
It can make me sad.
It can
make me cry.
Yes.
It can make me cry.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Now, everything that you're talking to me about is therapy outside of Western medicine. Could you give me a little bit of the reason why it's not more popular? Why it's people that are into the more spiritual world that are using these kinds of techniques for healing?